You're smart, the kind of person others rely on. Yet, when the moment arrives to say the one thing that matters, voicing a boundary, pushing back on a senior leader, answering a question that your VCs raised to you, or making a tough decision in front of the team, or stating your needs at home, your voice tightens, your chest feels heavy, and the clarity you usually possess seems to evaporate. It's a strange paradox. The more successful you become, the more pressure you feel to express yourself flawlessly, and that pressure often silences your natural flow and your natural voice. And this is what I call the high achievement trap. When extremely capable people lose access to their inner strength in the very moments when they're called on to speak to lead, and the very moment that require it the most. We're going to talk about three inner reasons why high performers freeze. Reason number one, there may be some old emotional imprints that may resurface unexpectedly. Now, in high stakes situations, your nervous system reacts before your intellect does. Now, a critical boss, a raised voice, a dismissive remark. Now, these can unconsciously activate old emotional memories from a humiliating school moment, a painful past relationship where you couldn't express yourself, a demeaning early manager, childhood criticism, etc. And your present reality becomes intertwined with this unresolved emotional memory and the unresolved emotional, unhelpful, irrational script that developed in your mind because of that incident. Now, your body tries to protect you by tightening the throat, shortening the breath, blanking the mind. But what looks like a communication problem is often an emotional imprint resurfacing at the worst moment. Now, reason number two is attachment to outcome can hijack expression. That's exactly what was happening to Arjuna in the battlefield. He was taking responsibility for too many outcomes, and too many outcomes that have to go in a certain way, and that was hijacking his entire expression as a warrior. Now, when you care too much about how a conversation will go, whether people will approve of you or not, whether you'll sound like a fool, whether you've got the right words, the right accent, even if English is not your first language, whether this will affect your reputation or relationships, your voice becomes entangled with fear. Now, the mind's grip on what might happen, it suffocates your natural clarity. And the more importance you place on the moment, the more your voice collapses under the weight of expectation. Now, I'll do a little bit of a detour here before we get into reason three, but this is very important, and this is what sets my work apart and in helping my clients achieve faster results, and I want that for you as well, is beyond psychology. There's an energetic dimension to why your voice shuts down. So there's this whole mind-body connection. And between the mind-body connection, there's an energy layer. So there's a mind, energy, and body connection. And the energy layer acts like a communication medium. Almost think of it like a high-speed cable or network or optic fibers, right? So the energy layer in your body is what connects the mind and the body together. And that dimension also needs to be considered as to why your voice shuts down. Now, the throat chakra, it's called the Vishuddhi chakra, it governs your ability to express truth, articulate your thoughts, and communicate authentically. Now, for many high achievers, this chakra becomes constricted due to years of suppressing opinions to keep peace, avoiding conflict, enduring criticism quietly, misunderstanding what tolerance is, being misunderstood or dismissed, feeling psychologically unsafe to speak honestly. Now, when this chakra tightens, it affects your throat, it affects your tongue, it affects your jaw, and you may feel a physical lump in the throat, a rush of heat, or a sudden dryness, or a sense that words just won't come together. And this is your past inner scripts coming up and constricting your throat chakra, even though the current moment may not require that protection at all. Now, you can open the throat chakra through breath, mantra, mindful expression, or healing practices to allow your voice to flow again. And in the Lead with Ease circle, we have specific modules that help you work on those very specific inner scripts that are sitting in your throat chakra, and to help you understand them and release them using rational emotive behavior therapy. So yes, there's energy work, but then there's also therapy work that needs to be done. And I also have the Confident Communicator bracelet that I have personally designed to help you support the opening of your throat chakra. So you need like a multi-pronged approach. Now, many leaders ask me how to keep their throat chakra balanced and their communication grounded throughout the day. And this chakra bracelet that I've created is a very simple and supportive tool. It's designed with the lapis lazuli, which is a perfect stone to help you with your throat chakra. It brings in the right energy for your throat chakra, filters it in from the outside prana to bring it to your body. Then we also have the tiger's eye to balance your solar plexus so that it helps you with your confidence as you're speaking. Any fear also sits in your solar plexus in your Manipur chakra. And it also has the pink rose quartz so that you can speak with a grounded energy coming from your root chakra, and with a lot of self-love and self-compassion as you go into these communications. And all of these together, they open up your throat chakra more so. Like if you look at the design, there's a lot more lapis lazuli there, which is perfectly targeted to your throat chakra to help it open up and to stay grounded throughout the day and open throughout the day. And it helps with aligning with clarity, emotional steadiness, and confident expression. And it serves also as a gentle anchor. A lot of times you just keep looking at the bracelet and it helps you to remind you to breathe, to relax and speak from your truth rather than flee, with fear. Now, for many leaders, having that physical cue also shifts their energy before entering high-stakes conversations or presentations. And you can get this bracelet from my website. You can see the links in the description below. And now let's return back to our flow. I've already talked about 2 reasons, and let's talk about reason 3 now, which is a lot of times we freeze because we have lack of outcome clarity. Like, what outcome are we trying to achieve in this conversation, or through this meeting, or through this presentation, or through this webinar? Like, what is the outcome I'm trying to achieve here, right? And this is one of the most overlooked reasons why leaders freeze when they enter a conversation without a clear inner outcome. Now, they haven't taken that moment to ask themselves, am I trying to persuade, negotiate, set a boundary, clarify expectations, or simply express what I feel? Now, what does success look like here? What exactly do I want from this conversation? And it's okay sometimes when you're asked a question to take a moment to think about it before you answer that question. Now, when your inner goal is clear, then your mind is not caught in endless micro decisions of whether should I be softer, should I be firmer, should I be direct, should I say this or should I not say this, or should I stand or buy time, etc. Now, when we're stuck in that mental tug of war, it creates a lot of hesitation. And that hesitation shuts down expression. Clarity, when you have that clarity of what outcome you're trying to achieve, it helps dissolve fear. And once you define your outcomes, even internally, your voice, your thoughts naturally organize yourself around that intention. And your communication becomes grounded, steady, and purposeful with a lot of presence, and people can see that. Now, if you want to go deeper into mastering your leadership, and especially both the inner and outer aspects of communication, emotional regulation, clarity, influence, energy, presence, and spiritual grounding that keeps your voice steady, I invite you to join the Lead with Ease circle, where high caliber leaders, senior leaders and execs are sharpening their edge, accelerating decisions, building inner stability with a very strong peer circle that's invested in your journey, and coaches and experts who are here to guide you and to take you to the outcomes you're trying to achieve and to the goals that you're trying to have for yourself. Where you also learn how to communicate with conviction on the inside and impact on the outside. It's a membership. It's a monthly membership, and with coaching, courses, community, leadership edge calls, peer meetups, and so much more. And I look forward to seeing you inside. Now, as we close this, I want to remind you, you do not struggle with communication because you're incapable. You probably are struggling because of a lot of things going on in your inner system, probably carrying an emotional inner script, or your mind is gripping outcomes too tightly, or your intentions are not yet fully clear about what you're trying to achieve there. And once these inner knots loosen, just as Arjuna rediscovered his clarity with amazing coaching by Lord Sri Krishna, your voice returns. And that is not something you force, but something that just flows naturally from you. And then your communication is not, for playing to the galleries. It's not performative, but it is something that truly arises from your core to truly achieve what you are meant to achieve in that moment. And when your voice aligns in this way, your executive presence and influence becomes undeniable.